What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, as promised, we're going to go ahead and discuss some Warzone, and tomorrow, I believe I'm going to go ahead and talk about DMZ. And I gotta say, I'm pretty shocked because typically, I wouldn't even go ahead and discuss Warzone in any way, shape, or form. But with how 6v6 is looking right now, content-wise, I think I should go ahead and at least give it a little bit of a try. You know what I'm saying? Because if content does get dry, at least I'll have some other game modes to go ahead and at least talk about. So today, I want to go ahead and dabble a little bit further into Warzone 2.0 because honestly, I am pretty pleasantly surprised with this mode. Now, I am a OG Battle Royale type of guy, you know? I played back in the day when PUBG and H1Z1 were first initially starting to pop up. And those games were just, obviously horrendous. They weren't AAA dev games, they were indie developed games. Obviously, they were built up to be better, but, in the very beginning, they were very buggy, glitchy, and all that crap. But the game mode itself was enough to make them replayable, addicting. It was enough to get people to invest hundreds, if not thousands, of hours into these games. Now, it wasn't because how it is today. Warzone, Apex Legends, Fortnite, Battle Royale has evolved, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I don't play it nowadays, is because it turned into a game that's all about kill chasing. Instead of what it was back in the day, about surviving, it has been turned into something, how many kills can I get? You hop into Warzone, you're coming in with the expectations that I want to drop a 10 bomb, a 20 bomb, a 30 bomb, however many kills you actually want to hit in that lobby. That's what you come in with the expectations for. But back in PUBG, or H1Z1, or any of the OG Battle Royale games, it was about surviving. It was almost like storytelling. You would go into the experience, and you don't know how many kills you'll get. You might get 20. You might get 10. You might even get a single kill by the end of the game, and you'll win the overall experience, but only one kill. And that's what the random factor was in Battle Royales. But it was fun because you had to go in with absolutely nothing, and you had to work with what you got. It wasn't about kill chasing or getting your loot right away or getting everything that you need so you can start hunting down millions of people. It was about getting in, using what you have, understanding the map, and being able to use all the knowledge around you to help you survive and be the last person standing. You could be an individual who has no good armor, nothing decked out, and you could still catch a dub in Battle Royale if you know how to survive. It is what it is. It might be obnoxious, but that's how it's played. And some people will camp their butts off and make it boring as hell. But, for anybody else who actually wanted to play it a little bit more like an FPS survival, or even, you could frag out too. You could pub stomp. But for anybody who wanted the more survival aspect or the storytelling aspect of Battle Royale, that's what the OG experiences gave to you. And I am pleasantly surprised that those experiences that I, had back in the day are right here with Warzone 2.0. It almost feels like a mix of something like PUBG and Blackout, with a little bit of Warzone mixed in, Warzone, 1 obviously mixed in to the overall experience. It feels really good. And like I said, I was shocked. I didn't expect to put as much time as I did into Warzone 2.0, but it has me completely hooked to the experience. I mean, to begin with, it's obviously free to play. You don't have to put a dime into this experience. And also, it comes with DMZ, which again, we'll make a video about that tomorrow. Once again, pleasantly surprised, but I have more details on that one. But the very first thing I noticed is how this game isn't revolved around kill chasing. It actually requires you to understand the map, understand where to be at certain zones, understand placement, and understand how to use what you have on you. Getting loadouts is pretty complex, and you can't even get them near the beginning of the game at all. You have to wait until, certain strongholds open, or you could do certain challenges, or you wait until the very end of the game, where the game will drop, open loadouts for everybody, which anybody can access. So, obviously, they're going to be hotspots, so high risk, high reward. I'm completely fine with that. If you're risking a lot to get something OP, that's cool. My problem was in Warzone 1, you got your loadout in 5 seconds. Everybody was OP. Again, it was about kill chasing. There was nothing survival about it. It was all about kill chasing. In Warzone 2.0, you are barely, able to scrap up enough money to even purchase back a teammate. And honestly, it is rough here and there, but I personally enjoy this because it reduces the UAV spam, and also without loadout drops being able to be purchased, it reduces meta spam as well. It forces players to try to find loot. It forces players to understand different types of loot. And it will even force players to stop camping and maybe even hunt down some enemies to find different types of loot that they might enjoy more than what they currently have. Basically, bringing everything that we enjoy about a classic BR, but still having that slight twist that Warzone 1 had to offer. It doesn't feel like I'm still stiff. It doesn't feel like I'm not able to find anything to do. It doesn't feel like I'm not able to find enemies or find contracts or find anything that I want to do in this map. I can get money countless ways. I can find weapons countless ways. I can do anything countless ways. And I like that freedom when it comes to a Battle Royale experience. Now, I will admit, there are some things that annoyed me, like, for example, the Gulag. I hate 2v2, I'll be real, especially when you're playing solos. It just doesn't seem like it fits very well, especially, like I said, in solo gameplay. Why am I going to team up with anybody else? It should be on me alone. But even when I'm playing a 2-man, 3-man, or up to a 4-man, I'd much rather be in a 1v1 Gulag. It just makes it feel like it's up to me. Because, yes, there might be, a jug that comes in that if you guys team up, you can take him out and get out all together. But what are the chances of that, right? If they take down your teammate, you best believe they're going to tag team you. They're going to try to get you out as soon as possible and guarantee their best chance. They're not even going to go ahead and risk it. So the majority of these gulags are once again, skill-based matchmaking, all in act, getting someone severely under your skill bracket. Then, of course, you're getting some absolute pub gods on the enemy team. You already know how it turns out. Kind of obnoxious. Now, I've been able to deal with it, I frag my way out of the gulag when I can. But I just think that 1v1 is much more simplified, and it's more fair to get back in, because I think it's extremely unfair to be put into constant 1v2 situations when it's your only way back into the experience. Like I said, it's hard to get money, so you really want to win those gulags, You dying is a 100% chance of either you being able to get a UAV to maybe see who's around you or hunt an enemy, or reviving a teammate, because coming across that money again is going to be very scarce, which I do think a lot of players are going to despise, but I really do enjoy, that lack of cash, because, I know I keep saying back in the OG Battle Royale days, I know you guys probably don't give a crap, but, you couldn't even spawn back in. You died, that was over. It used to be times where your friends, if you died too early on, you would just end the game. You would just completely leave. You wouldn't try to stack up cash to buy you back. You wouldn't, try to portal your friends back into the lobby. You wouldn't wait for them to survive the gulag. And it was none of that nonsense. You either backed out or they literally sat through 25 plus minutes of watching you play through the whole game. Those were your options. That's why I said it used to feel like a survival experience. And I feel that here. It feels like a survival experience. I don't want to die. I don't even want to be sent to the gulag. I want my gulag to last me as long as possible, because I don't want to put that weight on my teammates' shoulders. Again, they could do challenges, they could do things, but the best part about it is that the majority of the challenges in this are going to make you some type of target, make some type of noise, or, like I said, there are minor things that, won't really be too crazy. But maxing out money and spamming UAVs 24/7, I don't think is going to be as viable as it was back in the first Warzone. And like I said, with teammates dying and possibly needing to be bought back, people are going to really sit and ponder what they should use their cash on, and not just blow it on UAVs in the first 5 seconds, because they might really need that later on, or their teammates will literally go the rest of the game with no spawn backs. And in my personal opinion, the lack of cash found in chests, bags, and just ground loot in general, I think that will really encourage movement in Warzone 2.0 as well, because then individuals, instead of being able just to, hide and weave through some buildings and pick up some quick cash and get their teammates back, they are going to have to do contracts. They're going to have to go out and do things that will expose them and, get them into engagements. They're going to have to put themselves into the experience. It's going to encourage people to move and not just sit and do nothing. Like I said, it's the perfect mix, in my personal opinion, of a classic BR experience like PUBG mixed with a little bit of, Blackout, and having your classic, Warzone 1, fast-paced gameplay with the contracts and all the things that you can do that they have to offer, and having money and a buy system, all that stuff stuffed into it. It is a nice meld. And again, I know I went completely off topic. I was just talking about negatives, and I instantly got right back into the positives. I mean, to me personally, that just shows how much I'm actually enjoying this experience from a guy who despises the original Warzone. I had no interest in playing. I will never have any interest in playing Warzone. But for some strange reason, I have a ton of interest in playing this right here. I mean, all I can say is it's worth a shot. Warzone 2.0 is completely free. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you don't want to get the original game, you can still try it out. Because the best part is that all the ground loot is pretty beneficial. It's actually decent. The guns hit. The time to kill is decently fast. Unless you have a 3 stack of plates and you have a bunch of them on you, you're going to be getting drilled out pretty quickly. Once again, encouraging people to go loot, find stuff, encouraging people to hunt down this type of armor. When they see this armor, it's going to encourage people to actually engage those enemies to steal that armor. It's just going to, like I said, it's going to add so much to the spice of the game. But once again, off topic, as I was saying, the time to kill is decently quick. So the variety of ground loot is actually good. You can manage gunfights even against, fully decked out classes. You can still manage to get some damage in. You could still pack a punch, and that is so desperately needed because, once again, that's why I hated Warzone 1, because if you didn't have a loadout, you were playing wrong. You were not going to win anything. And obviously it's not hard to get loadouts, so it's nothing to complain about. We all got our loadouts anyways in the first 5 seconds, right? Like, it's not that hard to do. But once again, it just takes, it's the meta. It's just stupid meta lord crap that ruins the Battle Royale experience, in my personal opinion. And once again, for free-to-play players, it ruins their experience as well, and it forces them to buy into the actual COD game. This right here is actually pretty free-to-play friendly. The ground loot is great. The majority of my games, I barely even have any of my, custom classes. I actually have some more dubs where I haven't even picked up my custom class loadout once. It really is actually really useful. And like I said, it switched from Warzone 1 to where everybody in the world, is just going straight to loadouts, forcing free-to-play players to either buy into the COD experience to grind up these weapons to get the loadouts as well, or just, basically, I don't know, I guess go into plunder or slowly grinding up in Warzone very, slowly and poorly and very inconveniently. I guess those were your options if you wanted to just hop into Warzone without having to buy into COD if you don't enjoy COD, if it's not your type of game. But with how the ground weapons work right now, and also with DMZ, how if you extract with certain weapons in your hands, you can bring them into Warzone, like they're yours now. You have them in your loadouts. You can customize actual classes around that gun. That's really cool. So if you find into 74U in DMZ, you can bring that into Warzone now. You can have a custom class with that. You know what I'm saying? If you find a, I don't know, maybe a decked out M4, you can bring all that stuff over to your custom class loadout. Everything you find in DMZ, if you extract with it, it is now yours. That is, like, fantastic for free-to-play players. And honestly, it's a pretty unique idea in my personal opinion. I obviously own Modern Warfare 2, so I have all the weapons. But if I were looking on the outside, looking in and seeing, oh, look, Warzone 2.0, free-to-play experience, I can, wait, hold on. I don't have to buy the game. I could just extract with certain weapons and have them. That's it. Wow. I would want to give that a go. I think that's really cool. Now, I did forget to mention that in the buy stations, you can go ahead and buy a custom weapon. So if you do have, a custom SCAR, a custom AK, a custom anything, you can buy it. I believe it's $5,000 at the buy station. But again, it isn't your custom class. It doesn't come with perks. It doesn't come with any of that nonsense. It's just the gun alone. And like I said, I really do feel that the ground loot is good enough to compete with pretty much everything across the board here. My only complaint would be to add attachments across the battlefield. That would be phenomenal. Then you can take a basic weapon, something that, might not be the most outstanding thing in the world. It's still hitting, but it's not outstanding. And you might be able to add on to it to make it just a tad bit better. Now, I don't think that, Activision will go ahead and do this because that completely counters the whole purpose of people actually buying into the COD experience to get the attachments. If you could just find the attachments laying on the ground and, make any gun a God gun, what's the point? The only reason you would want to buy a COD game is to get the camos so you can, customize your camos now. So I understand why they wouldn't do that, but that would drastically change things in a good way. If you can actually deck out more of the base guns on the ground, just a little bit, even if you just, maybe have a suppressor or even just a red dot, just red dots laying around somewhere, that would make a, massive, massive difference compared to absolutely nothing at all. I gotta be honest, I don't want to keep rambling your guys' ears off. I'm just really shocked with how much I'm enjoying a Battle Royale experience right now, and I think it's honestly worth giving it a go. I'm not really talking to really the Warzone original players. You might enjoy a new experience. This might be for you. But I'm talking to people who, used to really love Battle Royale, but kind of lost that passion, that drive for this type of game mode. This kind of sparked it a little bit. It's very interesting, very unique. It's always keeping you on your toes. You're always learning something different. And it's very interactive. The map is good. I gotta say, this map across the board for Warzone and for DMZ is phenomenal. You can pretty much interact with everything. It's very explorable. There's hidden things across the whole board. It's really fun and interesting. At the end of the day, I gotta say, this is 110% where all the work and effort from these development teams went into. 6v6, it's polished off enough, but man, after playing this in DMZ, I can 110% see that those 3,000 devs went into this stuff. This is where all the work and effort went into, to making sure the map is quality, to make sure it's all polished, to make sure it's fluent across 2 massively different game modes. You gotta think, DMZ is like a story extraction game mode. Warzone is a battle royale. They are 2 completely different opposites, and the map works amazing on both. I'm impressed. Like I said, that takes a lot of work, and once again proves to me that all of their time went into DMZ and Warzone. And even though they were able to scrap some pretty decent looking 6v6 maps out of this Warzone map here, at the end of the day, they definitely made the Warzone map first, and then, kind of tried to make the flow work for the rest. It's working. Like I said, I can play the 6v6 maps, but man, like I said, you can tell Warzone got the love. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button if you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new to the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, in chat me, this is Do We Do So. I have Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games do over on Twitch, link is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.